Welcome back to Excel 2016. In this lesson, we're going to look at the use of the what if analysis, and specifically, we are going to be looking at the use of the scenario manager. To get to the what if analysis, you go to the data tab, and on the right hand side, under the forecast command group, you'll see the what if analysis. And if you click on the drop down beside it, you see different commands, including the scenario manager. If you click on that, you bring up the scenario manager dialog box. Now, before we create scenarios, let me explain what's going on the screen, the data that you're looking at. This is Treasury Notes, a global sales projection for different global regions: New York, Toronto, Lagos, and London. The idea here is that for each of these sales growth prediction, for example, New York 3.3%, Toronto 2.3%, Lagos 4.3%, and London 1.1%, any change in each of these will affect the overall yearly growth or sales projection right here. Okay, so for example, if we increase Toronto to, let's say, 6.3%, obviously that will affect our overall growth for the entire global sales projection. So now, much ado about talking, let's actually see what we're talking about. If we click on the add scenario here, we can indicate which scenario we want to create by typing a scenario name. Let's call this the Toronto expansion and the cell that we're going to change represent the cell that we are going to increase the percentage point of predicted growth. So let's delete that, and we are looking at Toronto predicted sales growth, which is in cell C12. We click on that to indicate it, and then we can put a comment here and say expansion of Toronto market through advertising and increase in sales staff. Okay, so now if we click OK, you are going to see some sort of a change. Now we can actually increase our percentage point to, let's say, from 2.3% for Toronto to 6.3% for Toronto by clicking the OK button here. Okay, so here is the moment of truth. If we click on show here, it is going to reflect the new change, which is 6.3 as opposed to this 2.3 that you see here. So I'm going to click show, and then you see that. All right, you see the change there. So it is now 6.3, and the yearly total is now $1,346,194.42, if I can pronounce my numbers. Okay, so there you have it. So let's make another change. For effect, add, and I'm going to increase I'm going to call this the Lagos expansion, and the cell that we need to change is cell C13, and our comment will be expanding the Lagos market by increasing staffing level. How about that? All right, and we'll go to the next. If we click OK, it takes us to the next step where we actually have to make the change. So right now it is at 4.3% predicted sales growth. Let's increase that to let's say 9.3%. Okay, so if we click OK now, first we have to click on the Lagos expansion scenario manager, and then we click show. You can see the change here. Now it is $1,375,894.03. So that is how to make this, use Excel to make this sort of forecast. The last thing we want to do is what happens if we add a scenario where all the regions, all the markets are changed. Let's do that. Let's click on add, and let's say we are going to hire new managers for all the regions. So we'll say new regional managers. Okay, and which cell are we changing? This time around we are changing all of them, so we select all of them. Okay, and comment, we just say hire new and more competent regional managers. Okay, so now if we click OK, we can actually make the changes here. So we're going to change each one of them by changing the numbers here. So the first value here is New York, which is 3.3%. Let's change that to 6.3%. And the second one is Toronto, which is 6.3%. Let's change that to 9.3%. And the third one is Lagos. Lagos was originally 3.3%, I believe, 4.3%, I believe. So we are going to change that to let's say 8.3%. And London, which is 1.1%, is going to be changed to 4.1%. Okay, so if we click OK now, if we select the new regional managers scenario, we can actually show the difference of what happens with all these changes that we just made. So let's click on that, and you can see right here there is a significant increase in terms of our yearly total. All right, so here we have the yearly total of 1,413,555.03. all right, so that is how this is done. In order to see this in a snapshot, to see how everything will show, we can do that by clicking on the summary tab here, and then making sure this is selected, and then clicking on the scenario manager right here, because that's the type of report that we want, and then clicking OK. So by doing that, we can actually see what the different scenarios will give us. Okay, so here are the numbers for each of the scenario expansion that we made. Take a look at, you can see that the increase in Toronto market produces about 1.4 million, and the Lagos market expansion a little bit more than that, and then the new regional managers hiring was a little bit less. So all in all, it looks like the Lagos expansion model produces more for us than hiring new managers or increasing the Toronto expansion market. So the point is, you can see how changing these sort of scenarios can give you a snapshot of what to expect if that is actually put into practice, all other things obviously being considered. Okay, so thank you for watching this this video. I will see you play with this a little bit as usual and get your hands a little bit refined, and I will see you in the next video.